Hello, beautiful, and welcome back to Bow and Arrow Tarot. And today's pick a card reading your week in love. So today we're going to take a look at the next 7 days in love for you, whatever the scenario may be, whether it involves someone else or maybe it involves just a shift or a change in your love life or progress in a particular area. So whatever the message is today, remember these messages are always timeless and they find you whenever you're ready or meant to receive them. Now, take a deep breath, soften your gaze, and allow your intuition to pick your pile. Pile 1, pile 2, or pile 3. If you need another moment, this is a perfect time to pause the video. And when you're ready, you can go to the reading for your pile at the timestamps below. Let's begin with the reading for pile number 1. Welcome to the reading for pile number 1 for today's pick a card, your next week in love. So we're going to jump right in. What's it all about? Talking again. All right, talking again. Interesting. What other energies do we have? The world. So a completion and a beginning. All right, here we go. This is already starting to be quite interesting. Page of Pentacles. So just the very beginning of setting the foundation, laying the brickwork, What's your animal spirit this week? You're resonating with the crocodile. So crocodile energy, water energy, someone who's very, very patient. Of course, we're going to go deeper into all of these with the clarifying cards. What other energies do you have this week for you? The sun. So clarity is coming, truth, abundance. Oh, and the high priestess. I love this energy. Deep intuition. I dare say some of you saw this coming, right? What does Spirit have to say about all of this? Your power this week is in the energy of support. All right. And your two spirits of darkness and light. Wow. Werewolf spirit and spirit of the wolf. So werewolf, wild, untamed desire. Spirit of the wolf, of course, is the loner, right? Someone who works on their instincts, very fierce energy. What an interesting reading for pile number 1. So let's just jump right into it. Talking again. So this week is about reconnecting with someone from your past, opening the dialogue, a second chance, back in each other's world. These are all, the energies that come to mind. So talking again. This could just be the very beginnings of it. So let's go further. The world and Page of Pentacles. This is where it gets quite interesting because this energy talks about something has ended recently, right? So a major chapter, and yet at the same time, I think that you feel like you're very, very aligned. So perhaps in the past or the recent past, maybe in the last several months, even to a year, I feel like you may have felt like you were veering off your path or you weren't quite where you wanted to be at, but you've come, firmly back on the path that you want. You feel you're connected to your sort of destiny in a way. And also at the same time, a very major chapter has closed in your life, but closed in such a way that was good and healthy, and you are ready for something new. Page of Pentacles energy talks about laying the foundation, that initial kind of very, I want to say tactile, very sort of realistic building block of something. Let's go a little bit deeper. I'd like to know just a little bit more about what this talking again world energy is about. 2 of Swords. Wow, there's a choice and there's your completion, and a 7 of Wands. Wow. So, yeah, I'm going to say for some of you, this world energy talks about the ending of a particular relationship, perhaps, or a stage in your life that involved other people with regard to love, other options. 2 of Swords, 7 of Wands. You're talking again, I want to say, as a result of somebody who has worked very hard to get back into your circle, to get back into a connection with you, communicating with you, and it's opened up a doorway. It's opened up an option. That 2 of Swords energy is making a decision. Feels to me very strongly like, yeah, you're dealing with somebody who may have left your energy or left sort of your environment as a result of something. I'm not entirely sure if this person is a full-blown ex. It just could be someone that never really quite things never really quite got there with this individual. Nevertheless, whatever the case may be, there is a reconnecting. This could be a reconnecting with a friend as well for some of you. But I dare say that behind the scenes, this individual that you are reconnecting, talking with again, made, really took great pains, really fought to sort of get back in that position. And you have a decision to make. What animal spirit are you resonating with? The crocodile, who is? Water animal spirit, extremely patient. The crocodile, I love this animal spirit. The crocodiles just wait. They wait and watch, wait and watch, wait and watch. And, you wouldn't even know they were there until they decide. And it's this extreme emotional patience that you're resonating with this week, right? And yet, following up with Sun and High Priestess, I really feel like you saw this person coming. Like, this feels to me, pile number one, this very much feels to me like this person is getting back in your good graces, and you knew they would. Something occurred with them that led to you not talking, right? And you knew in your heart with that High Priestess, you knew they're going to come crawling back, or they're going to come fight. They're going to fight to get back. They're going to come back. And your reaffirmation comes in. And this is why you're so patient. The sun comes in to sort of remind you. Oftentimes you ever think about something and you're walking along and suddenly the sun comes out. And it's like everyone on the planet thinks the same thing, that is a nod from the universe, an affirmation that, yeah, you're correct. Or, follow that line of thought, right? And so the sun coming out is that feeling. And this is what's going to be happening for you this week. There's going to be events that happen this week. Very real. This is not just like airy-fairy in your feelings. There's going to be a phone call, a message, an email, a text. This person may even find their way in your social circle, right? They may find their way speaking to people. I'll tell you, whatever the case is here, it'll be very much exactly the way you imagined it. And that's what the High Priestess is letting you know. So if you're already resonating with this message and you already know who I'm talking about, you've already envisioned this return, right? You may not have envisioned the options it provides. I feel like this choice coming to you is quite new, but you may have seen this in your head before. Well, whatever way it is that you imagine them coming in will be how, for many of you, that they do come into you, how they make that contact. Let's get some more. Ooh, the devil, stop it. Capricorn energy. The devil's associated with Capricorn energy coming in. Yeah, you're dealing with someone I feel right away is a little bit of a trickster. And again, I think that this is why you are able to be so patient. And I laugh because, devil energy is all about our desires and how we use that energy of desire. You can use it to its highest good, which is creative energy, ultimate creative energy. It's the devil energy that creates, that allows someone to pour their passion into creating a symphony or creating works of art or, just stupendous feats, right, of creation. At the same time, it can be a downfall. You can become a slave and an addict to your desires and to all that fuels that. So it's a very heavy card. It isn't quite, evil as people would necessarily imagine. It talks much deeper. And so this person here is someone who I don't feel toxicity from them, but I do feel trickster energy. This is someone who's very passionate. There's probably a high degree of attraction here. What they resort to in terms of getting next to you will be quite interesting. They will be quite physical, strangely, right? So, this, there's a feeling here of a childish, kind of prankster-ish type of energy here as well, but not dangerous or toxic or anything like that. But somebody who really, especially with that Seven of Wands, they're really falling over themselves to get next to you. What does Spirit say about all of this? Support. Yeah, support could very much be your friend circle. For some of you, they're going to know this person. Everybody knows each other, sort of thing. You may indeed, it may be necessary to sort of, talk to your friends, and have their support, and support doesn't necessarily mean seeking approval. It can be that, listen, hey, this is happening. Keep your eyes open, your ears open. You're dealing with somebody who is in their heart a bit of a trickster and who you clearly have experience and history with of there being distance. You're talking again, you're not talking for the first time. So we're talking about a cycle here, and support is what Spirit says. You know what I mean? Lean into your friendships. Spirit of darkness and light, werewolf spirit and spirit of the wolf. So wild, untamed desire here. Yeah, again, that's, there's a lot of passion here with this person. You two are very attracted to each other. I dare say it feels like a bit of cycle. Spirit of the wolf, loner, fierce instincts. Follow your instincts. I do feel like that energy is resonating with you. And this is this following week. So I'd love to pick a card because it's very quick. Again, whenever you come to this reading, this is not a dated reading, but it's a forecast for your next coming week. So whenever you come to this reading, it is timeless and will resonate with you. But over this next 7-day period, I'm going to say there's a lot of interesting things to happen. So let's go ahead and pull out the zodiac runes and see what kind of zodiac energy we're dealing with here. Some of you are dealing with a Capricorn. Yep, that devil. I did tell you, devil is the card for Capricorn in tarot, so no surprise. Some of you are dealing with that Libra air sign. What else do we have? Some of you are dealing with a Scorpio. Wow, heavy water. Very passionate. They will not let it go, right? Scorpios won't let it go. And Aries. Wow. So you have all 4 signs here: earth, air, water, and fire. Capricorn, Libra, Scorpio, Aries. Take that how it comes to you and resonates with you. Thank you so much. This is the message I have for you today for pile number 1. Thank you so much. I hope it resonated for you. Now, if you are called to stay with me for pile number 2, let's get started. Welcome to the reading for pile number 2 for today's Pick a Card, Your Week in Love. So we're going to jump right into it. What's this week about? Exclusive. Wow. Going exclusive. Being exclusive. Let's see. 3 of Wands. So messages are coming in. The sign has come in. We have also the Chariot and the beginning of a whole new chapter. Wow. So this is the week where something that may not have been exclusive begins to become exclusive. Your animal spirit this week is the Scorpion, all right? So you're coming in strong, passionate, and competitive. Your energy, King of Wands. Oh, wow. You're definitely the alpha here. And we have a 5 of Wands. So you've worked for this. This is shaping up to be a very interesting reading. What does Spirit have to say? Potential. Yeah, your secret weapon this week is all about potential. And the spirits of darkness and light, they give you the spirit of the gargoyle. So we have a guardian, a protector, intimidator, and spirit of the apple, an offer or a temptation. Wow. Well, this is interesting. Right away, you're showing up as the dominant character here, the alpha character, right? Perhaps the architect of all of this. So let's just jump right in. Your week in love is all about exclusivity, girlfriend, boyfriend, commitment, solidifying that relationship. Marriage material, it says, right? No dating other people, exclusive. So this is the week. It feels to me, as I look ahead, and we're going to go deeper with clarifiers. And don't forget to stay to the end for the zodiac runes to see what kind of zodiac signs you're dealing with. But it seems right away to me that this is the week where a plan, a vision that you've had, I want to say, for a particular connection begins to sort of form, right? 3 of Wands, Chariot, yeah. Everything, the building blocks have come in, the signs have come in. So I feel like something probably has happened or progressed in a particular connection in your life with someone. Again, I feel right away that you're the one who wants to go exclusive, but perhaps you may have been either waiting for a sign or for the right time. 3 of Wands energy is definitely the energy of feeling like, oh yeah, okay, so now is the right time, This is it, this is the moment where we begin. And in this deck, Chariot energy, it's off, it's done. You've laid the path and you're kind of on it. So this is kind of a nice energy. I really love it. Something is resonating up to being you know, monogamous, committed. Let's see what else we have here. More energy. Wow, temperance. Yeah, you've definitely had to wait and work towards it. Another 3. This involved a lot of tempering yourself, waiting. As I look ahead, you may have had to wait for someone to sort of become free, if you know what I mean, right? Or to get to a place where they were ready to become exclusive with you. So you're the one definitely who's exercised an enormous amount of patience, temperance, right? Not pushing, not pulling, doing exactly, bringing exactly the right energy to any given situation or exchange with this person in your life, this connection that you have. So to work towards your aim, right? Your aim being that ultimately you want to be exclusive with them. And 3 of Pentacles is there to say that you've really put actual effort in. You've done physical things for this to happen. It may even be that you've put money in, right? Put money, time, effort. You may have even done things physically, like moved or made room physically in your life for someone. There are you may have made changes at your job, right? You may have made adjustments with the work that you do. There was very specific and physical sort of moves that you've made to get this, right, to bring this person along to where it is you want them to be. Now this could be vice versa. This could be your person having done all of this. But as I look ahead, I look at that animal spirit for you this week, the scorpion. Wow, this is someone who's this is your animal spirit. You're very competitive, very passionate. You don't have a lot of friends because you're very, passionate and picky, I would say, right? You demand loyalty, but you're a strong friend. You're a good friend. And those who are friends of yours are select few, but they are deeply aligned and connected with you. You're a person of deep connections, passionate connections, but also someone who is indeed very, very competitive, right? Competitive energy. So it makes sense to me, feels to me very much like definitely you are sort of the one who's been wanting this. And this week it comes in King of Wands and 5 of Wands, more fire. So all of this is fire. Scorpion animal spirit is fire. Scorpio zodiac is water. But here we talk about the animal spirit and King and 5 of Wands, more fire. So your vision, right? You've been looking forward to this. You've been the architect of this. You've been you've been the driving force between, in this pursuit, I want to say, of achieving what you'd like to achieve in this connection and in your love life, right? Specifically in your life, more or less, with regard to love, right? Rather than a love life per se. Because again, it's all about being exclusive. 5 of Wands definitely indicates that you've had to sort of compete. This person, some of you, this person, you had to be very patient and temperate because I think this individual may have been dating other people. You may have been dating other people, but it feels more like this person, this object of your affection, this object of your goal here, may have been involved with other people or may have had someone else in their life that was a bit more sort of permanent or sort of more committed, I want to say, right? More in an agreement, whatever shape or form that relationship took. And so there was a degree of having to compete and sort of, prove yourself, certainly for someone like you who resonates with that very competitive Scorpion energy, naturally it feels to me like naturally, right? Your instinct is to show that you are the better partner, right? 4 of Swords, more waiting and careful preparation, being very careful with your decisions. You have a battle here, and then you have a soldier coming back from the field here, deciding how to move forward. There's been a lot of strategy here, I'm going to say. That's what it feels like to me. A lot of strategy, a lot of different moves that were made, all to sort of in furtherance, I would say, in furtherance of your vision to be with a particular person. And this week is the week where it starts to solidify, right? You start to have that, oh, okay, this is it. We are exclusive. Something has clicked, come into play, locked into place as well. Now, what does Spirit have to say to you about all of this? Potential. The potential is here now, right? You've unlocked the actual potential of what you can do moving forward. You've worked so hard to get to this place. It feels to me like someone you've been in love with for a very long time. Finally, sort of, achieving this level of connection where you can realize the full potential of having a relationship. What are the spirits? Spirits of darkness and light, spirit of the gargoyle and spirit of the apple. Yeah, the gargoyle has been a protector, a guardian, at times an intimidator. I think that you definitely have resonated with this energy as part of everything you've brought to this situation to achieve your goal. And it's with no doubt of mine that this is definitely an achievement for you. Something, it was a goal and you're achieving it this week. But you definitely had to employ some of that energy. You may have to further going forward, especially if you're dealing with someone who has a lot of attentions elsewhere or other people in their life that are sort of competing or vying for this exclusivity, this commitment from this person. Spirit of the apple is there too, though. A test, a offer, a temptation. So, yeah, take that as it comes for you, If it is the offer that you're making of being exclusive, take that your person taking it, or if there's some outside energy here, this also can this feels very much to me like outside energy in a certain way. Like you may indeed have to be a bit more of a guardian of what you've work towards and sort of built up here, this connection with this person, because there may be offers, temptations coming in from elsewhere. Right? Let me pull one more card just to see. Oh, what flipped out? Something just flipped the world. Well, you're on your path, right? You are definitely aligned with where you should be. And the world is there to sort of reaffirm that, yes, this is all part and parcel of a divine plan for yourself and for this person and your connection. So perfect. This is the time to pull the zodiac runes and see what kind of zodiac signs you may be dealing with. So right away, we're going to pull out that Leo fire. So there's your fire. We will pull out Aquarius. There's your air. Strong. Leo is very, very competitive as well, right? That Aquarius, strong air. Okay, we have Virgo, earth energy coming in. And we also have, last one for today, Cancer. And that's interesting. I was thinking about that. The Chariot is the card, the zodiac card for Cancer. And I just thought, I wonder if Cancer will peek its head in. And sure enough, there it is. All right. This is the message I have for pile number 2 for today's Pick a Card, Your Week in Love. I do hope it resonated for you. I hope it gave you something to think about. And I thank you very much for coming to this Pick a Card. Now, if you are called to stay with me for pile number 3, let's get started. Welcome to the reading for pile number 3 for today's Pick a Card, Your Week in Love. So we're going to jump right into what this week is about. The escape artist. Wow. Sabotaging. Self-sabotaging. What other energies do we have? Justice. So balance coming in. This is the card for Libra. You may have some Libra energy there. What else do we have? Page of Swords. All right, taking a moment to consider something new. Your animal spirit this week is the oyster. So strong, beautiful water animal spirit. The secret keeper, though, right? So we'll see. 4 of Wands, the 1111 soulmate energy card. So definitely deep love here. Page of Cups, another page. So deep love, but like just a tentative beginnings, right, of something. Shadow work is what Spirit has to say. So this week, there will be an emphasis on shadow work for you, perhaps doing some shadow work, the results of, and you have Spirit of Communication, Spirit of the Staircase. So love letters, texts, phone calls, progress for the staircase, the long way home. So interesting reading, right? Right away we see the escape artist. I'm going to tell you, this almost feels to me like this is a reading for you if you are this coming week just about to make a mistake, or perhaps just about to fall back on old habits. The escape artist, right? Are you the escape artist? Is this something that you tend to do when things get too close, too hot, too emotional? I look ahead to the oyster, and of course, we're going to go deeper with all of it. And at the end, we will be pulling the runes, zodiac signs, to see what zodiac signs you're dealing with. So don't forget to stay for that. But it feels to me strongly like there is something happening in your life a connection in your life that you really feel deeply about. And look at that, my little candle's gone out. Deeply about, uh, and oftentimes it feels almost like you may be the one to sort of escape before there is a need to escape, right? So just this Page of Swords energy comes in. There is a rebalancing though, right? So it's almost as if it doesn't feel like you do escape, and it doesn't feel, because as we look ahead, it feels like you begin something, but you have to confront. There's a confrontation that happens this week of an energy that sort of brings you out of balance, an energy of perhaps panic, especially when it comes to love. And so this week, there's going to be very specific events, experiences, activities that happen, synchronicities, I call them, that are going to cause you to sort of open up your eyes. You have that Page of Wands. You're going to realize things from a very different point of view. I think you're going to notice yourself sabotaging yourself and put on the brakes. That's the energy I feel. It's a very specific reading. But that's what it feels like for me here, for you. You are someone who generally feels things very, very deeply, but you may be quite shy when it comes to love. You may be quite shy when it comes to confronting very deep emotions. So let's get some more clarity on Libra. There's your intuition, confidence, and your Queen of Pentacles. Someone who you really, and this flew out. So I'm going to keep that. Someone you really trust and respect is going to come in, Queen of Pentacles, and sort of show you the way, right? So this is what I feel like. There is a strong connection you have with someone, and you feel deeply about it. And there's something about it that, scares you. But you have a person in your life, a strong divine feminine energy in your life, Queen of Pentacles, somebody who's always really been there, feels like, in a very physical way, emotional way. A High Priestess is there as well. You know to sort of instinctively talk to this person. It feels very much like you can almost see yourself beginning to sort of do the same things you've done before. But something about this connection is so important to you that you notice that, you see that, and you may even seek this advice out, or this individual may seek you out, just knowing, or just the connection between the two. Because this week you have a whole new sort of way of looking at things. You're sort of given a new sense of clarity. And you're given some confidence to come in, because as I go ahead, and I'll get to that page, when we talk about oyster energy, the oyster is someone who is able to do whatever they want, right? In the sense that anything that they put their mind to, they're capable of doing. They really have a lot of hidden talents and treasures and depths to them, but they're very shy, and they often are fearful of the world knowing too much about them for fear of rejection, perhaps, right? Oysters are also, secret keepers, the keeper of secrets, whether it be their own or others. So there's a secrecy here, a hiddenness here, a holding things away, but also the potential for like such a deep, beautiful gem that needs to really be exposed. And so this energy talks about someone, and I dare say now you being someone who tends to sort of resolutely try to hide away, especially when things get too deep, someone gets too close to who you are. But there's a big shift and change happening in that this week. And it happens in baby steps. Page of Pentacles is all about just the first step to not doing that. I want to say to building rather than escaping. Now, Four of Wands, Page of Cups, right away when you begin to sort of like, I want to say when you intentionally see yourself sort of operating on a level that you've done before in the past, you don't want to do again, and you make concerted effort and change toward it, you're right away sort of, I want to say, rewarded almost with someone who comes in and tells you how they feel. Four of Wands, and it is the very beginning of a strong relationship. Strong relationship. So it's almost like this is such a beautiful reading, pile number 3, because it almost feels like this week coming up for you is a week where a very important moment happens, or a moment of choice comes for you, right? And things could change so drastically. Either going toward allowing yourself to sort of be that escape artist, revert back to old habits of escaping and being fearful, or taking that moment, seizing it, turning it around with everything that you have, and right away being rewarded with sort of like the confirmation from this person, this connection that you feel so strongly about. More page. We have all 3 pages here: swords, pentacles, and cups. So the very, very beginning of something really strong, a long-lasting sort of connection, all because of the ability for you to sort of try, begin, start, be courageous, right? Not fall back, but try something new. And this is the shadow work. So Spirit says this week is all about shadow work for you. And it is. This is a beautiful week for you, sort of resonating up, evolving yourself and breaking free from old habits, and specifically old habits in love, and right away seeing the fruit of that labor. And especially with spirits of communication, right away that communication of love, that text, that email comes in. It's almost as if as soon as you recognize old patterns that no longer suit you and behaviors, and you intentionally turn away from that and decide to change that and rise above that and become a better version of yourself, making better choices, you immediately get confirmation back. You immediately get that feeling that you've done the right thing. You immediately understand another level of shadow work here. And it's very beautiful. And I do say here that it is the very beginning right away of this love connection. This may be with somebody that you feel a lot deeper about than you're willing to say. I'm going to pull one more card, though. One more. Oh, wow. Okay, there you go. So I used different decks. Something called me to pull another card. And what did we get? 4 of Wands. Again. This connection that you are facing yourself to make the most of has the potential for being a deep, long-lasting twin flame soulmate connection. Really beautiful. Very, very beautiful that the 4 of Wands came out twice in one reading. And I was just called to pull that. I wasn't even sure if I would. So now is the time to pull your zodiac signs. Let's see what kind of zodiac signs you might be dealing with. What an incredible reading. We have Pisces for some of you, that water sign. We have Gemini. Some of you resonating with that Gemini, that air. Some of you are dealing with the Sagittarius. All right, the archer, always shooting his bow and arrow to his destination. And the Taurus, that strong Taurus, earth energy. I love that Taurus there. Very, very sort of akin to that Queen of Pentacles, that Taurian energy. I love that. And we have all 4 of the elements represented here: Pisces, water, Gemini, air, Sagittarius, fire, and Taurus, earth. What a beautiful reading. Thank you so much. I hope it resonated for you. This is my message to you. Spirit blew the one candle out. So this was a really beautiful message. I hope it resonated. I hope it gave you something to think about, some insight, maybe some reaffirmation. And that is it for today's Pick a Card Your Week in Love. If you enjoyed it, come back and join me this week on Bow and Arrow Tarot for your next Pick a Card Love Tarot reading. But for right now, I wish you love, life, and happiness, and I'll see you here again. Bye-bye.